Hello and welcome to Racers Now. You are tuning in to an anti-post special with SD, where we're going to cover everything from the Sprint Cup this weekend to possibly the Ayr Gold Cup and beyond in the next 20 minutes or so. So thanks for tuning in. SD, how are you on this Monday evening?
Very good, very good, very good. You're dressed as a lollipop man tonight. Lovely, lovely to see you. Nice and camp, sir.
I've started doing it on purpose for you.
Attire.
I've started doing it on purpose for you. It can get worse, and it will get worse.
Yeah.
So we had a comment a few months ago about wearing football tops, which I've stopped doing that. Now I'm just wearing the bright gear. SD called me, I think, a prison inmate last week. So yeah, we'll continue. Anyway, SD, the first race we are looking at is the Sprint Cup, which takes place at Haydock this Saturday. And the question I'm going to pose to you, and you are going to accuse me of being a anti-Haydock connoisseur. It's not a great renewal, is it? And the evidence for that is obviously Inisherin, his favourite, didn't win last time. The Jubilee winner is riding in America, I think, this weekend. We've had problems with a superstar in the sprint division all season, as we've mentioned many, many times. Hence why there is a couple of 3-year-olds under the same ownership at the top of the market. And in fact, 4 of the first 5 in the market are 3-year-olds. It's not a Haydock problem. I'm just saying it's a sprint division problem. Would you agree?
It is a sprint problem. I mean,
yes.
Bradsell showed it to an extent in the Nunthorpe, I think.
He did, yeah. I agree.
That, there's clearly a devoid in the sprinter division at present. And as a result, unfortunately, these things ebb and flow, and we are where we are, aren't we? I think you're a bit unfair to grab the 3-year-olds. We'll come on to that.
No, I'm not crabbing them. I'm just saying that is a fact. As in, there is no evidence by the Jubilee that was won by Card.
I mean,
it's the older brigade are very much missing. The classic generation may well prove best, as the market suggests at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, just one thing on this race. As you probably know, I know Jason Files very well. Superb man, should be knighted. Is a former manager of Haydock Park. He now runs Highclere in the north. And I texted him yesterday saying, is Believing going to run before it broke? And he said, no, we're going to go to the Curragh. And I basically said they would start raving mad. It ran very well from a wide draw in the Nunthorpe. It ran, as if it wanted 6. A 6-round Haydock would be fine to me. And I was just... I mean, I presume Mr. Bow and Mr. Herbert had made the decision, not dear old Jason. He'd have it running at Haydock, let me tell you. But
running it last year.
I just think it should be running. Because I think he's
had a fantastic year, very, very consistent. Has been over to Ireland and run a Group 2, I think. Was in the top 4 in 2 Group 1s in 1 week at Royal Ascot. Again, ran with credit from probably the wrong side at York. Yeah, I agree. That Flying 5 at the Curragh is pretty chaotic. But Irish sprinters are some way behind British sprinters at the top level and have been for some time. Anyway, let's concentrate on the horses that do look like running. We've got Inisherin at the top of the market currently at 9-2. There's 22 in at the 5-day stage. This is for the Sprint Cup. 3-year-old filly Flora of Bermuda, one of SD's favourites, has been supplemented. She's available at around 25-1. Believing's out. She's going to Ireland. Regional's out. He's injured for the season. They were both around 10-1, so it has had an impact on the market. Just on Inisherin, he's in there at 9-2. On reflection, that July Cup was the wrong race for him, really. It's easy to say now, I know, but that's the quickest 6-furlong Group 1, definitely in Europe on the July course. Yeah, it is. It's the quickest course. It's definitely more of a speed, the most speedy 6-furlong Group 1 race, you would say. Haydock much more to his liking, as is already proven this season. Elite status second in the market, same ownership around 6-1. 2 wins from 2 starts this year, impressive enough, but both on quickish ground, and this is much tougher race, obviously, than what he's been winning listed in Group 3. SD, the weather is a very, very mixed forecast for Haydock. What do you reckon we will end up with come Saturday? Currently showing as good to soft.
Well, firstly, you're talking out of your arse. If you compare the times for the July Cup this year last year's Sprint Cup was running a quicker time. So to say one's quicker than the other. There's very little in it, actually.
Undulating downhill for much of the race. It's a very different. It's a very different test to Haydock, Ascot.
No, but the point is, saying the horse is a mistake. You know, both Newmarket tracks are undulating. Most horses act on them. You can argue Inisherin didn't, but to say they shouldn't have tried, I think you're
No, I
talking
didn't say
out
that. No, I didn't say that. It's the obvious race.
What did you say?
It was in hindsight, which is a wonderful thing. It was the wrong race for him, the wrong track for him, the wrong setup for him, the wrong course.
Yeah, but you've got to try this.
He had a track. Well, as you will remember, SD, I laid Inisherin. He was 11-8 favourite and finished 5th. Not good enough.
Yeah, so now I got 11-4. Hurt me that. Weather is all over the place. They've had a bit of rain today. I've been about 20 miles away. I don't know. I would guess they've probably had 4 or 5 mil today. There are showers forecast Wednesday. Friday's interesting. You know, there's a southeasterly coming up. It often doesn't get to Haydock. And my guess would be it would start on good to soft in places, something like that. I don't think we're going to have extremities of going. I don't think Dan's going to need to irrigate. I think we're going to be somewhere around there, maybe good to soft if you were to push me. But I don't think it'll suit a flat, very fast ground horse or a very soft ground horse for that matter.
Yep, fair enough. So, what is the best bet to be had at this stage then?
Well, the more you look at the race, I've been over it several times today, and I just can't help but think Inisherin's the best horse in the race. You know, I can take what Kevin said at Newmarket about it not handling the track terribly well.
So it's all right for him to say it, but not me.
No, but you were basically. I thought you were insinuating it hadn't run, and of course Kevin has a bit more gravitas than you. Inisherin, look, if you go back to the Commonwealth Cup, if you go back to even the Sandy Lane, and to an extent the run in the Guineas, if you look at the Guineas, which is looking at a fairly hot Guineas, he's only beaten 5 lengths in that. I think is the one horse who has Group 1 class oozing through him. I'd much rather be on him than a horse like Elite Status, who has won a couple of these Newbury sprints.
From the front. Yeah. So I think he's the best horse in the race, and I think if you're betting 9-2 about the best horse in the race, I think he'll go off 5-2. Personally, I think he's definitely the best 3-year-old in the race. To an extent, we'll come on to the other one in a minute, and the older horses are a bit, I wouldn't be surprised if an Equal Love ran a race, but I can't really put him up at this stage. I've got a sneaky feeling she won't run. But yeah, I think he's the best horse in the race, and 9-2 at this stage is fairly solid. SD, I 100% agree with you, and I'm really quite close to putting it up myself, but there's little point because you're miles ahead of me. I've got to make ground on you, not just have a 1 or draw with you. Where is Millstream, the July Cup winner? Seriously, question, because I don't know the answer.
I don't know. I presume there's something wrong because I actually don't know. Ran in the race last year.
So we've only got one Group 1 winner in the race.
Is that right?
Unless Buccaneero, yeah.
Power never won a Group
Kim
1.
Ross. Kim Ross, obviously.
And Our Power won a Group 1, didn't it? At Ascot, did it? Or am I going? Yeah, it did. It won that Group 1.
Oh yeah, it was 40-1 odd.
Yeah. So look, I just think there's a dearth in sprinters at the moment, and that does lead me on to my other selection. I think Flora Bermuda's.
You love this.
She's 33, I think, isn't she? Did I give you 33?
I'll check that live for you as we speak.
Yeah, check it live. But I do love this horse. I think she's very, very good. She more or less, she stopped in the starting stalls in the Temple. But she'd have probably won that day. If you look at the sectionals towards the end of the race, she ran amazingly quick. I mean, I know she was last, but nevertheless, it showed you what a class animal she is, and she's certainly improved for going up to 6. She won the Summer Stakes, beating a Dane Devon and an Equal Love, and she was fourth in Group 1 company last time. I think she's still improving. I think the ground at good to soft or good to soft will be absolutely perfect for her. Oisin's jocked up. I mean, I can't see it going off at 33. I just think she's tricky, but she's a bloody good horse, and they wouldn't have supplemented her either if they didn't think that she had a chance. I mean, I'd have put her in the bloody Ayr Gold Cup off a rating of 106 because I think she'd win that.
What's the supplementary cost? Do you know?
I don't know. I could find out, but I don't know offhand. It'll be, it'll be tens of thousands.
Yeah. I reckon, 20, maybe 30 grand, something like that.
I thought 33 was fair enough for her. I'd much rather back her than some of these others.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think Unequal Love, as you've pointed out, might run well. I'm going to wait for the final decks. I think most of these will stand their ground. So I'm waiting on a final decks, but be more importantly the ground, because from the forecast I've been looking at, it could be absolutely anything.
Well, I think you do. They'll be running on a different track on Saturday as well. Important to point out. They'll be, I think, on the outer course, which has a greater radii.
On Saturday, we've got racing from Ascot, which is pretty average by Ascot standards, and Kempton on the all-weather there. But you had a bet at Kempton in the 2-year-old 6 furlong race. Is that correct, Mr.
Yeah, but there's no prices up, is there?
Go on. So you're on the Superior Mile,
which is at Haydock. We're concentrating on the North's premier racecourse.
Behind York.
No, the North's premier racecourse. Not many courses have a Group 1 and a Grade 1, sir.
Right, so the Group 3 is the Superior Mile, opens the card at Haydock Saturday. If it's not raining or hasn't rained heavily before that, I'll be there at Haydock Saturday, I think. Oh, this is that Maljoom.
Thank you, Frank Talbot.
This is Maljoom that you back and never win. Oh, this is an horrible race. Maljoom, who is unreliable. Nostrum, who could hardly be more unreliable. And Al Musmak, who appeared unreliable last. Oh, and Cicero's Gift. Jesus Christ. This is the unreliable stakes.
Well, Maljoom. I don't know. I think he's short enough. I wouldn't be so sure they'd run Nostrum and bad ground, And I'll tell you for why. He was last, and then he got beat up 4-6 at Goodwood that day, didn't he? So if it was on the easy side, I'm not sure Nostrum would run. Al Musmak wasn't very good last time. Cicero's Gift was last time. Regal Reality, surely to me, always wants fast ground.
Say it, FD. Say it. Regal Reality. Age.
Well, yes. Old enough to smoke. Owned by Fred Dunn's brother. Did you know that?
No.
Well, there you go. Holloway Bay. Well, I had a good look at this. I think if there's a bit of ease in the ground, this Beshtani for Hamad Al Jahani might just have a chance at a big price. My battery's going to go, by the way, so we better bloody hurry up. He was fifth in the Summer Mile at Ascot. Was only beaten a length and 3/4 that day. Sonny Liston was further back, and I thought he ran a belting race first time up at Epsom with a bit of ease in the ground. Second off a high mark of 104. He's not that far behind these. I think the race could cut up, and I think 3 places each way, 16 looks viable.
I think you make a fair argument. As you could probably tell by my reaction, I've not looked at this race before now, but honestly, I've never seen a race packed with more unreliable horses anti-post in my time. I mean, and half of them might not run, as Estie's rightly pointed out, Nostrum, but we had an argument over Maldum going into the Judmont. Need I say any more? Nostrum goes off favourite or near favourite every time and don't win. Al Musmak, I put him up last time, but he was disappointing at Goodwood. And Cicero's gift won well at Sandown, group horse in handicap, etc., etc. And then there was 19 lengths, 7th of a conditions race at Goodwood. Yeah, Jesus, that a lot of question marks there. And like SD says, the gap between Beshtani and the rest might not be as big as the market suggests. Right, I have looked at the St. Ledger twice on the on races now. SD has not joined me on either occasion, and he doesn't.
I don't watch it when I'm not.
He doesn't watch them, so SD will not know that I have put up Deira Mile at 16-1 anti-post before he didn't run in the Voltinger and then pretty much bombed out when short price at Goodwood. So SD is going to tell us why we should be back in Deira Mile now.
Well, you're talking out your arse again.
Why?
Because you said he bombed out at Goodwood. He did not bomb. He didn't bomb out.
Yeah, I hesitated. He somewhat bombed out.
Well, look, that race, watch it back. It was well, yeah. The first was first all the way round. The second was second all the way round. The third was third all the way round. And the fourth was fourth all the way round. It's a farce of a race. Now, you go back to the Derby form, and that's...
I agree.
That's pretty... it's pretty shit hot, isn't it? And I was looking at this race, and, you know, I can't help but think, you know, Illinois... He's hardly got the va-va-voom, has he?
I called him unsexy. Yes, I did.
See, I haven't watched this video. Jan Bruegel looked like a boat at good, but he'll be the cup horse next year. Grosvenor Square will just go tearing off in front. Some way, well, wouldn't be a million miles off. Ancient Wisdom, I don't think is certain to run if you look at Betfair. LA won't run, and this Deira Mile, you know, isn't far behind them at all. You're probably only talking £3 or £4, trained by the master Owen Burrows. I'd slightly hesitate on Fast Ground, but I think at this stage I'm not sure there's going to be 8 runners, and I think 20s each way is very fair, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like I say, I'm on at 16, and Water has passed under the bridge, and now you're joining at 20, which is fair play. Yeah, poor renewal. Aidan O'Brien domination. There's only one horse trained in Newmarket in this St. Ledger at the moment. I don't know what to, and that one might not even run, as SD said. I think Illinois will probably win. I know that he's the market leader, and that's an obvious thing to say, but I think they'll just set it up for him. Team sport. Grosvenor Square will go off the front mad. Jan Bruegel lack of experience will stop him winning. He's probably a horse for next year, as SD said. And Illinois will just plug on and pick up the pieces and win the St. Ledger. But the best bet at the moment, if you're looking for a bit of value, is Deira Mile. It's going to cut up more. There's more to come out of here. Align the Stars will come out. There's a whole host of Aidan O'Brien horses that won't run. Wild Waves is in there for Andrew Bolden. He got beat in a handicap off 92 last time. Got no way near winning. It's an absolutely awful race. Deira Mile will run, and he'll have a chance. I think there's some mileage in the each way angle as well with the free places, because there could well be less than 8 runners on the day. Absolutely no problem. In my opinion. We will touch on the Irish Champion Stakes, which I did a video on last Friday. Since then, and to a surprise...
You just do videos on it. Can I do a
video?
video?
We're just churning them out, Esty. We're just churning them out, yeah.
Yes, we do.
To the surprise of absolutely no one, White Birch has been confirmed as out for the season, which is a shame. And I think that makes Economics' task even harder, because that's one less horse for the Cornwall or the Ballydoyle boys to worry about. And I just think that there could be... I want Economics to win. I hope he wins. I hope he is fantastic and brilliant and comes back next year and cleans up. But this is a tough task for him. The team tactics. We saw what happened last year in the same race.
Too much about
we saw what happened in the this race last year, where Jim and Holly got dominated, and it could happen again this year with Economics.
There we are. I have very little interest in it.
Anything? Are you going to give a similar answer to this one, SD? The Arc, no?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to finish up then on a race that you probably are interested in, and that is the Ayr Gold Cup, which takes place on the 21st of September.
I had a look at this earlier today.
Well, you will not be surprised by what you see on screen there, SD. But yeah, we tipped up this Desert Cup at Newmarket earlier in the season at the Newmarket in May. SD anti-post 28 to 1-ish. Me on the day 18 to 1-ish, something along those lines. Since ran at Newmarket over an inadequate trip, 7 furlongs. That was a joke with a claiming jockey on. More than fair.
More than adequate, wasn't it?
Well, it was.
Far.
Yeah, way too far. It was ridiculous.
Inadequate is not enough.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, sir. The complete wrong trip at Newmarket. Then ran a fair enough 8th in the Wokingham, beaten about 4 lengths in those mad races on the straight track at Ascot. Massive line through the Ayr Gold Cup on what was an inadequate trip, 5 furlongs with some God knows who rode him that day. Line through that. Ran perfectly well in a big handicap at York at the Ebor. If you go and watch that, clearly on the wrong side of that race. Everything was far side that race. Just look that week. Just look at Bradsell. But in this race, it was on day 1 at York, clearly on the wrong side when we didn't know what the bias was. The first 5 that day were drawn 8 or lower, and all the first 5 raced on the far side. Desert Cop led, travelled all sorts well on the near side. Tried to migrate over. Jockey gave up when the race was gone. I thought he was pretty much a big eye catcher in that race. So yeah, I thought he was eased down late on. I think he's got a big chance at York. He's 33 on the list. There's a maximum of 25. He should get in. He's 50 to 1. I think he's a good bet.
What did I have?
Please say that you agree, because I know you do. But let's make the public know.
I do a bit, but I do. It's a bloody hurly-burly race. I think 50 is fair enough. Is he entered somewhere else?
I didn't think so. Let me just check.
That might be what I had against him. I'm trying to go through them now on this wretched iPad. Here we are. Desert Cup.
Oh well, there's 200 and something entered in the race. Genuinely.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, he's entered at.
Sugar! He's entered Saturday. Jeez.
He's entered at Kempton, isn't he? And that just put me off an iota.
Could do both.
Well, he could well do both. I don't see the point of going to some bloody.
Well, actually, he's only rated 94 now. So, although the weights are already out early, so yeah.
Yes. Just watch, by the way, if anything's entered in the Flying 5 and it runs well, it's happened before this, and they look chucked in the air. So be very quick off the mark with the anti-post.
We have been there before, yes.
We have been there before, indeed.
Right, what was your Ayr Gold Cup? Did you have one or not?
I didn't have one of the. I mean, the thing is with these races, there's not a lot of value. If you work out what they bet in 12 the field.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, on the day, on the machine, they're going to be a hell of a lot bigger. I mean,
I've got to do something to try and keep up with you.
I've got one for the Cambridgeshire, but more will be revealed the day before the race because it'll be a prize.
Very good. Very good, very good. Right, well, a few bets there then that we've put up. Plenty to look forward to anti-post in the coming days and weeks. Yeah, really cranking up now, SD. And season comes to an end on October the 19th, as agreed at the start of the season. And as we know, SD is a million miles clear of me. Not only is he going to take £50 of a friendly bet off me, he's also going to decide the rules of engagement for next season in terms of our tipping, me versus SD. So that'll be interesting, won't it?
Yes, it'll be very, very interesting. Then, of course, the jump season starts, and we'll be previewing Kelso next week. So quickly, next week the Ledger. The week after is
Ayr Gold
Cup and the Mill Reef.
It's the Cambridgeshire.
Then it's the Cambridgeshire and a great card at Haydock.
Then it's the Arc.
Then it's the Redcar 2-year-old trophy.
Arc.
And then it's Hexham.
What Hexham? What fifth? Hexham's the what? 12th of October.
Yeah, Britain's most scenic race.
Yeah, well, Sun Chariot Day that is. So there's a Group 1 on that day, but yet you're talking about Hexham. Okay, well, you know what's going to be coming all throughout the jump season. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back on Thursday night as usual with our Saturday tipping. Thank you.
Goodbye. Done.